Hey, what's up? See this thing? That's pretty cool. I'm gonna put it over here because it kind of makes a noise. Hopefully it's not too loud. I have my guitar here. My name is Luke. I'm the bringer of light, and I have a little sip of poison here. So, I guess I'm something of a mystic. Sometimes a musical mystic. And mysticism can take many forms, and it does in me. With the wind, you know. Sometimes the wind can spread a wildfire. Sometimes the wind can put one out. Sometimes the wind can sing you to sleep. Sometimes the wind sounds like 1,000 shouts, like a freight train heading your way. Sometimes the wind can be warm and it can go cold. Really depends on the situation, which is good and which is bad, but ain't that just the way it is? Just the way the wind goes, just the way it is, just the way the wind blows. Most of the time, the wind and the trees are friends. Don't you know? Most of the time the wind just blows. Trees don't mind. They use it to love. They use it to shed their leaves so they can grow new ones and to love with the sun. And to make little baby trees. You know those little helicopter seeds, little baby trees, carried in the wind, kinda like the almighty dandelion, floating in the wind, flying in the breeze. Oh, its beauty brings me to my knees. Oh, almighty wind, whispering secrets, what a mighty wind. Blow, 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 that's just how she goes. That was nice. I enjoyed that one. Awesome. Definitely gratitude for the wind. Let me send out the live here. Oopsie, oop. There we go. Oh, wow. That was great. I really enjoyed that. It's kind of like divinely inspired poetry in a way. Hey, what's up? With the guitar, like coming from that special place in real time, not like writing anything. So that last song was about the wind. Gotta love the wind. Gotta love the wind. Seems to me the spectrum is the nature of reality. The spectrum is one of many natures in reality. Spectrum, all the colors of the frequencies, all the matter, all the different kinds of me, different kinds of light. Different kinds of gods, different kinds of light. Difference between you and me and the stars above. It's different kinds of light, different kinds of love. It's the spectrum of that love and of a love. This is the never-ending, infinite, infinite spectrum of love. Seems to me, and all of it something's brought you to me. That's alright, I welcome you in. Spectrum of love has every color. Come on in, friend. We can be a little different. I can be blue and you can be red. We're all colors on the spectrum of love. We're all colors on the spectrum of love. Do I have my little foot tambourine, perhaps? Incorporated it? I should get one of those head mounts so I could play the harmonica too, but then I couldn't sing. So much can do. Got some new stuff here. I got this is like the Violet Flame. I might modify this. I got ideas about that. And this is like this whole Sacred Geometry eye. The eye also is kind of violet in there. Violet Flame. Saint Germain. There is a crystal in my pocket and it is poking at me. It's nice just to sit back and play the guitar. It's fine. Sit back and play the guitar. Run around all day. Went to church. Unitarian Universalist. It's a great place to kind of temple and, regardless of what you believe. But, I've really been trying to work on, in the process of knowing myself, which is the process of loving yourself, understanding yourself, work on just words in general to figure out, because, so much of what we are, and certainly what I am, seems to be beyond words. But the quest to find better words for things should never be extinguished, And I just find that there's so many labels that I could identify with because I feel like I'm kind of all the religions of the world. Maybe not in a way that I am in a huge way in all of them, and in a way that I disagree with all of them in some ways. But really, it's all just a matter of interpretation, because the way I look at things, I think there's a lot of overlap between all the religions I've ever seen. And I see that any name people use for God or the goddess or the divine, or even if they're humanist about it, I see them as using different words to describe the same thing I perceive. The same... I don't know what the word is, just the light, in a way, I think maybe not all people, but most people, I think, share a number of beliefs, if they do have any beliefs at all. Some people certainly just avoid that altogether in this life. But, well, I don't agree entirely with any one large group or religion. I find that, well, actually that's not true, because I'm a Unitarian Universalist in a congregation, so that's because it's a pluralistic religion, though. It's made for this kind of thought, right? So I'm right at home there. But in terms of these more dogmatic religions, I just can't accept dogma. I am truly Gnostic in the sense that I perform gnosis, that direct connection with God, or the goddess Sophia, which connects me also to the Father. But so, she is the light of which we are within the Father. And I've had it described in vision. I guess, I'm kind of a seer in some ways, but it's not just seeing things. It's like in the mind's eye, it's, I guess in some ways here, it's very much an astral projection experience, I guess, where it is multisensory, and a lot of it's not even sensory. It's just downloadable understanding, right? And that's kind of helped me, or just caused me, I didn't go looking for it, to accelerate rapidly in some of this stuff, because I've just turned my mind over. I've dedicated my life to kind of exploring this, and like the music and stuff, and sharing it too. And certainly, I think that it's unlocked a lot in me. And I'll use the term woken up or great awakening, but a lot of times it's more like remembering, especially when I think about past lives and reincarnation and stuff. This is kind of hanging weird. But it's a big process of remembering and understanding and getting divine wisdom. And I try to share it, but that's because I'm called to do that. I think it's important. I'm here to bring the light, and to do many things. Many things of good and love, and I don't think that I am in any way special in this. It's happening to me right now. I think it can happen to anyone. You know what I mean? Anyone can find. I may struggle to explain the wisdom and stuff I've gotten in this way or my experiences with it, because again, words are not enough, but you can find it on your own. And I think my key focus when trying to talk to people about that is if they want to know some of the answers I've received about big questions through this process, I could answer, kind of the nature of many things at many levels of reality and different dimensions and things like that, of how the nature of the meaning of life kind of shit, you know what I mean, as they say, as the meme goes. People act like they really want to know, but they really need to find out for themselves. And I'll happily show you what I've seen as best I can at any point in time with that. But like, my big thing is just helping people to find out for themselves all this shit, basically, because that's what at my core, Gnostic, okay, which just means gnosis, not like, so Gnosticism as like a school of thought, and then Gnosticism is like the Gnostics, like that's like a group that's been clumped together of like the early Christians, like the Valentinians, for example, would be Gnostics. But then there are a wide breadth of different little sects of that in the ancient world. But if you take a step back from that in particular group, and you look around all religions of all the world, they have different names for gnosis. It's just that relationship and that is divination in a way, I guess, of wisdom, understanding. It's the way that so there's multiple types of Buddha in Buddhism. People who are considered Buddha and their paths to get there. There's one that's like studious, where you study your way there and you quest for enlightenment studying under somebody else. And there's Buddhas that just kind of wake up or remember, or like they just come to it on their own without all that. And I think one thing a Buddha has to understand is that it's eternal. It's an eternal quest. If they are, many Buddhists believe in reincarnation, and perhaps some do not, but I do believe in reincarnation, and I think that I share a lot with Buddhism, but definitely not everything. I think a lot with Hindu. I see things as a dualistic divine in two parts, and like a yin yang. So if you show me a yin yang, that's like showing me a picture of God, basically. You know what I mean? But also that's a monotheism, because it is of one God. The whole yin yang is one thing. But then each part is infinite, and so there's infinite division of feminine, masculine aspects, kind of thing. And I'm Unitarian Universalist. So Unitarian basically means God is everything, we, including us. Unity of everything, it being the light, the word, the love, the matter, energy, okay, all that stuff. And everything I believe spiritually, it falls right in line with roughly the scientific knowledge that we've achieved, the scientific wisdom from the world that we've achieved over, from our ancestors, basically, and people alive today. And I do believe in evolution. I believe in intelligent design, but to a much bigger scale, from well beyond the Big Bang, or what we would call that, which isn't exactly right in my view, but it's that scientists agree with that they don't know exactly. That's just a general idea of something happening. There could have been things before that, but that's as early as we can see. You know what I mean? And I personally have gotten through gnosis that, and this is actually a theory that I found after the fact, but it's there's different dimensions, and we exist in 4 dimensions, right? 3 spatial, 1 of time. Well, space time. That gets confusing. But so up. So let's say we had 3, it'd be 6. Because we have 4, it's 8 dimensions up, which we're basically like a projection. So like. So like the 2D shapes this makes around me, like on my face and stuff, okay, of light, that is going through it's representing the 3-dimensionalness of this thing. I'd be part of this being 3-dimensional, but it's appearing in 2-dimensional. That's basically it. So it's hard for us to fully understand the nature of reality from this perspective, because it's like the simulation theory almost, but it's complicated. At an even higher level, whichever you want, and it's a fractal. There's an infinite number of levels to reality, right? There's infinity crystal, okay, and then the infinite light that's moving through this infinity crystal, and not a literal crystal. We're thinking way, way higher, but like that same kind of vertices, matrices or something of a crystal that it has at the aspect of a crystal, what we would think of being a lesser version of it, okay? Because everything kind of repeats, and there's examples everywhere. Because it's an intelligence, it's a consciousness that we're all made up of. But so the light is moving through that and refracting in an infinite number of ways, okay? And this is, again, light, not as you think of it. Light is a lesser version. The light we know of is a lesser version of that. It's a kind of light, of this ultimate light, basically. Light coming out of the all around light coming out of your phone is a kind of light. Photons are a kind of light, but so are we. Matter. I like to think of matter as congealed energy, which is light. So, that's a little bit of that meaning of life kind of stuff in one way, but there's a million different ways that you can understand this. You can also think of us as like the eyes of God, the divine feminine, the light, the flow moving through, refracting that we are made up of. And the Father that we are within and of also, that duality being one God, and then each one being subdivided in just different aspects, because they're all things. They're all things, right? Throughout, for me, all the gods and goddesses, pantheons of the world, I see the truth, the wisdom that I've seen here, and just throughout this, and I just see ideas that I've come to on my own, discovered by myself after the fact, and all over the world, and there's just this shared nature of it. So there are some things that that set me into categories like that, like being a Unitarian. I also do a lot of ritual things and do gnosis, which sometimes is different ways. Sometimes it's guitar, sometimes it's more meditative, sometimes it's more moving, and yoga and all different kinds of things like that. And I'm really just an explorer, and I just go with that feeling, that guidance. And I know what I am. I know I'm of the light, and so is everyone else, and so is everything else, okay? And I see myself in a different way than I used to now. I see myself as, well, maybe I should sing about it. I've been holding the guitar for a while. I see myself a different kind of way now. I see myself so much more than I did. I understand the concepts of heaven and hell a little different than I did. I understand what I am, what I really is, the soul observing this body for just a while. Oh, it's special, don't you know? Every life you go through is a special one. You wanted it, but you're just passing through, collecting a colorful beat on your divine memory, on your divine sight to see, collecting another beat in your eternity of seeing, which is the same thing as loving God, loving yourself and all things, and loving all you are. This is how you see, it's also how you grow. It's so complex, it's so simple. Hey, I see my life, I see my soul. It's more as a string of beads than these 70 or 80 years. If I'm lucky that I get here by the name Lou, I will never die, I'll just be passing through. I will never die, I'm just passing through. I won't pass away, where the fuck am I going? I'm going to the city of light so I can decide where to go to next. All the possibilities, go anywhere I please, anywhere I think I need to go. When I'm so more that I am. While I'm looking at this tiny fraction of all the is and all I am, we're just looking inwards, almost like when you meditate and look inside your brain, look inwards. That's what it all is, that's what I'm doing, I'm looking inwards. So are you, you're looking at me, you're looking through me, and I'm looking through you. Empathy, what if that's just remembering? What if that's just remembering? Do you ever remember wrong? Do you ever forget the words of a classic song? Oh no, you're just passing through like me. I'm passing right on through you, and you're passing right on through me. Once in a while, I really start to see eternity. Oh, I'm a child of God, and the goddess is love for themselves. Two parts of one, divided makes three. It's a holy, holy Trinity. You, me, and you, and you. It don't matter if you don't agree, that'll be fine with me. It doesn't change anything. Beauty of what I see is a pure loving it all, the pure loving it all. Don't you see, I'm a universalist. I know that all souls will find bliss. Why would we punish ourselves for eternity? Why would we punish ourselves for eternity? We knew exactly how it would play out. We just wanted to watch it all play out. Yes, we did. Watch it all, watch it all, watch it all play out. We're just passing through, and looking at you. What's up, Soulfish? Did you like that one? I know you came in probably part way through. You should watch this video later. I've been jamming here for about 20 minutes or so. Really getting some good thoughts out, I think. I'm gonna mix up the guitar a little bit. What if I went this way with the... Ooh. Okay. What is it? see here. Soulfish, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Give me a stick. Now we made it good with the Palo Alto. What do you call God? Is it a name you read? Shouldn't it come straight from him? Hey, my name is Fred and I am God. Wouldn't that be funny if God's name was Fred? Maybe it is. It might be sometimes to somebody. If you're like me, you think that God is everything, well then you'll see it would have many names. If you're like me, you think God is eternal, you think he always was, then you got but one conclusion: who gives what name? Guys don't have a single name, they don't need it. Some people call him Allah, some people say Yahweh, some people say the Lord, some people say Christ, some people say Sophia. They're all just as nice, as good as any names. None of them are good enough. Maybe Infinity, maybe Infinity, a decent name, but listen, just use the name God gives to you. Listen to yourself and look inwards and listen and love God. Listen and love yourself. Understand there ain't no real difference. If you do one, you must do the other. Your books are nice, you think that's all there is. There's more to the word, there's more to the word of God. It's the word of you, it's the word of me. It's the world we see, it's the world inside ourselves. Hey, it's the words coming from our mouths. That's the literal library of God. So is nature, the berries and the trees. Library, library of God. You see what I did there? The library, as some people say it, and then berries. I imagine it's just a library with a lot of like jam in it, and jelly. No peanut butter. I wouldn't recommend that. You're going to get the book sticky, but who am I to argue? Shit. You like my new bling? Got the violet flame represented there. And I got this is a violet eye and some sacred geometry, and it's like surrounded by 3 hands. There's stuff going on here. Also, I got this. I like having, just for like, this is like a tool. You know what I mean? Like a spiritual tool, I feel. Tap into different things. You know what I mean? See, I can't hear myself. Let's go with Handstrom. Foot in good position. Actually, let me change it to my other foot for stability. It's a foot tambourine. Best investment ever. It was not expensive. How many books do you think Moses read? How many books? How many books did you think it took for Adam and Eve? How many books for all the others who ever wrote a book about what God said to them, or what they saw of God, or what they thought of God? Why do you pull yourself down, think you're any less than them, or what you could be potentially? Oh, don't put yourself down. You got the sight to see. Let your flower bloom between your 2 eyes. You got the sight to see in your beautiful soul, deep in your mind, running down your spine. Oh, don't you know you're beautiful soul? Don't put you down. Books are great and all, but did Moses need them? He kept it simple. He kept it pretty simple, didn't he? Oh, don't you know? Don't you know? How many books did Jesus read to reach his divinity? How many did he himself write Some people did, some people don't. But don't you know, I think everyone can be special in the relationship with a guy or the goddess. Well, let's have a vision. I feel things. I see a shopping cart rolling through a parking lot. Black bow around, tied around this rusty old shopping cart. This looks abandoned, like an abandoned mall. Rolling on through this decrepit concrete that's containing you. Go, little shopping cart, plastic bag hanging on with a smiley face. Thank you, come again. The bag is a hand reaching down to the ground and pushing them along. Oh, go, go, don't you know? Oh, there's flowers over there. Oh, there's flowers over there. Oh, the bushes are diving in the ocean. Oh, they're spinning now. Oh, don't you know they're the wheels of the shopping cart, flying on, rolling true, taking them home to be with you. Tiny men, little toy soldiers, Master Chief. Wheels spinning, propellers churning on this toy airplane with engine burning, fire made of ice, turning fireflies, amoebas in the sea. An eye on your face, a second one on your chin. Oh, don't you know, these eyes, they spin around and round and round. Turn into the eyes of yin and the eyes of yang on your face. Like a Pokeball, opening up, sucking you in but setting you free. Don't you see the divinity when a Pokeball rolling through the parking lot alongside the magic shopping cart with the smile that smiles a lot, like a hermit crab, like a hermit crab. Let's go back to the sea, be a chef for a human crab. That's what we are. Pokeball. But don't you know what's good as a Pokeball but the Pokemon inside it all? That was kind of reminds me of well, was it the Yellow Submarine album with the Beatles? You know, where I felt like that was a similar spirited thing. It was a crazy vision, I'll tell you that. I was doing my best to describe it as it went. Just full range, misdirecting anyone in your way, misdirected anger. Why do you let it linger? Let that shit go. Listen, I understand, at least I'll try to for a while. But I don't like to see you hurting yourself. Feel these things, never know relief from the hatred and anger. The riled up, a little bit is good, use that. But don't let that consume you, you consume it. Consume it a bit for good, but do it with love. Oh, it's alchemy, it's emotional alchemy. Turn your hate into more love. It's emotional alchemy. It's what's going on inside of me. I like that better than shadow work. It's emotional, it's emotional alchemy. That's what's going on inside of me. That's what's going on inside of me. It's emotional alchemy. Using her, being used by her divinity. It's emotional alchemy. I'm changing one part of me into another, far better. Turn your hate into love for the God that got yourself above and for yourself. If nothing else, for the love of God, just love yourself. Do a little magic, little shadow work. More than anything, turn your hatred into more love. Still do your work, still fight the man, I promise you that. You definitely can, but do it with love as much as you can. Do it with love as much as you can. Emotional alchemy. Wow. Well, look at that. Soulfish said that she was just pushing an old shopping cart through a parking lot. Well, that shit happens. I like that. I like that a lot, though. Emotional alchemy. Because shadow work, that's a confusing way to describe it. Although all we all are is kind of shadows in addition to being light, in a weird way, if you think about it. Because we're like a projection, right? And a projection is made up of light and shadow, light and dark. You know what I mean? By necessity, I think. But maybe that's what people mean by alchemy a lot of times. Maybe it's all a metaphor, and that's just what I've tapped into. I really should study out. Lead into gold and transmutation of things, but you can apply that to emotional context, you know. And perhaps if you can do that first, then you could do it in real life. I don't know. I don't need to. Oh, that'd be cool. Can you imagine that shit? What would you do if you could turn anything, lead or whatever, into gold at will? Now, you don't want to be King Midas and turn everything to gold. Because love yourself, you know what I mean? You know, that can cause problems. Cause problems for Midas. Midas touch, right? But at will, maybe a little bit of concentration. Like, what do you do? Just like sell small amounts at a pawn shop over time? Because I feel like the government's going to get mad. You know what I mean? I guess if you could melt it into bricks. But then, like, taxes. But I guess if you can just keep making it. I don't know. How much gold would a person have to make from other things to ruin the economy by pumping it into the market so they make gold worthless too? Because they say if they captured an asteroid and brought it into orbit and mined it for precious metals, it would tank the market on everything. Which is kind of problematic, because we really should be doing that shit. I was listening to some astrophysicist the other day, talking about the budget for war and space, talking about defense of the human race. Don't you know, we got the technology, hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars spent on war for what? And this year's budget, less than $1 billion for asteroid defense. Man, that's definitely more likely than nuclear war. In every conceivable way. Let's look out at the galaxy. Hey, look at the fucking ground. You can see it's happened before and it'll happen again, my friend. I'm concerned. It might happen sooner. It might happen before our heads start to turn out of our own back doors. We got the technology, they just don't have the fucking money. That's the kind of thing we won't live to regret. I just want to talk about it. At least I could say I told you so beforehand. Don't you know? Don't you know it's so sad? It's so preventable if we only use the tools we have. Probably won't have much time. We might not even see it coming, but there's a good chance that we will. Imagine if we had a few rocket ships on the pad waiting. Ooh, like a silo, but with a specialized asteroid, something or other, many other things. Come on, Mr. Elon, come on, Mr. Elon, will you do it? If I log on to Twitter and follow you, will you save the human race from that rock that's already coming from space? Listen to me, whatever it is, it's already on its way, 'cause it always was and it always is, just like the next one. That's just the way it is. But we could do something about it. We could do something about it. We could do something about it. But we won't. What the fuck? I'm gonna be pissed if it happens and we didn't do shit about it. For real though. Like, the asteroid that will the next one, big asteroid to hit the Earth, and there always will be another one. That's how space works. We're moving through space. There's asteroids in space, and there's interstellar ones, and that's not even to say anything other crazy shit, you know. Even if it doesn't completely wipe everybody out, there could be like cities destroyed. Like there was that one, like 10 years ago or less, in Russia that like was not that bad even, but it was like kind of bad, and they didn't even see that coming. And what happens if one of these hit somewhere and took out like a city and somebody mistaked it for a nuclear accident in heated times like these? You know what I mean? Or like a nuclear attack or whatever, and then responded with more. If they just reacted quickly? I mean, shit, with the dead hand that Russia has, what if just by happenstance, a comet hit and took out parts of Russia, including Moscow, and the dead hand activated because of that? You know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, should it just be on the U.S.? No. Other countries should have their own systems, and we should all just be, like, independently, you know, these big EU, China, Russia, before they started, you know, having some economic issues with that. But just multiple people around the world, multiple groups having asteroid defense capabilities would be pretty smart. And that's one of those things where we might not live for the toad to sow, but I'm just going to give it that preemptively there. Put this down for now. Oh, that's pretty good. So I'm going to hop off of here for a little bit. Take a little break. I'll probably be back here in a little bit, for a little bit. But I want to end it here. There's a lot, amazing. Maybe 6 or so songs in there, maybe a few more. So we'll just keep it a tight little video on that. But thanks for hanging out, Soulfish. And if you're watching the video, thanks for watching. You can always hit the like button at any point in time. Just make sure you don't unlike before you leave if you're hitting it multiple times. If you really want to hit it multiple times, just maybe don't touch it all the way if you have trouble with that. But make sure when you leave, it's still red. I make jokes sometimes. But peace and love. See you guys soon. Love you.